Balancing a demanding finance job in New York City with your health, social life, and hobbies is hard enough already, so incorporating studying for a tough test like the GMAT is an even tougher uphill climb. Trust me, I get it. My daily routine would consist of me getting up at 5 a.m. to get my GMAT prep in before a long day of work. I knew that if I wanted to dedicate time to studying for the GMAT, I would have to do it in the mornings, as my evenings would inevitably be consumed by something else, or my energy levels would be less than productive. This was a very stressful time in my life. Finding the time to consistently dedicate to my GMAT studying, as well as the motivation and discipline to work at it each morning, wasn't easy. But fortunately, I had Target Test Prep to help me in the process. Target Test Prep became an essential part of my GMAT studying journey thanks to its thousands of practice problems and robust structure that held me accountable each and every day. Fortunately for you, you don't have to endure all of the struggles I face, because in today's video, I'm going to break down the biggest tips I have for boosting your GMAT score while working full time. But before we get into the tips, I want to tell you more about Target Test Prep. For people with a busy work and personal life, Target Test Prep is the best GMAT prep program on the market. Not only do they provide flexible study plans based on your time horizon and goals, they also are compatible on mobile devices so you can take your studying wherever your busy life takes you. This was perfect for me, as I could keep up with my studying regardless of if I was traveling across the country for work or locked in at my apartment here in NYC. At this point, you probably already know that Target Test Prep is at the top of its class when it comes to its content. With more than 4,000 GMAT practice problems and 2,200 instructional videos, they give you all of the resources you need to get an elite score. But in addition to just the materials, TTP also has some pretty impressive tech that sets it apart. First of all, TTP offers smart analytics that help you hone in on weak areas with robust data and error tracking, which helps you turn weaknesses into strengths. This tool lets you see your accuracy on each individual topic, as well as your average time per question, and so much more. They have now integrated AI-powered resources seamlessly into their courses to make your studying more efficient, strategic, and customized than ever before. TTP developed their own personal AI GMAT tutor that can help you quickly recap lessons, personalize study recommendations, and offer time management and test-taking strategies that fit your test-taking style. We all know how transformative AI has been in so many other areas of our lives, so it's exciting to see TTP implement it into their learning. So now that we've discussed the most valuable tool for your GMAT journey, let's dive into the tips for how to maximize your score while working full-time. Number 1, leverage micro-learning. Short, focused study bursts during idle moments add up over time, and when working a demanding job, there isn't always a ton of free time in the day, hence why it is so important to take advantage of the spare minutes you do have. You can do this by downloading flashcard apps to review GMAT topics on the go. If you have TTP, they actually provide this feature for you, which is a game changer. I recommend focusing on content that doesn't require prolonged concentration, like grammar rules or math formulas. I am not advocating for trying to work through a 10-step math problem while on the subway. And this tip works not just for the GMAT, but for anything you want to improve on. It's amazing the spare minutes you have at your disposal while waiting for your coffee order, your bus to arrive, or the commercial breaks while watching football. Number 2, set a consistent time that you focus on your GMAT studying. This is important because a consistent schedule removes decision fatigue and helps you build the habit. Here, it's helpful to assess the time of day that you have the most energy. Are you a morning person or a night owl? For me, I knew that my mind was the sharpest in the mornings, so that's why I would study before work. But some people may feel the complete opposite. The key here is to understand your body and what will allow you the best headspace to study. It's better to get 30 minutes of hyper-focused studying in than an hour of unfocused work. It's also okay for your time to be variable between the week and the weekends. I naturally had way more time on the weekends to study, so I would allocate an hour or so each weekday to my prep, but 3-ish hours on Saturday and Sunday. The key here is consistency and studying when you can use your brain to its fullest extent. Number 3, use targeted practice. This means focusing your time on your weaker areas rather than reviewing everything that is covered on the exam. This is incredibly important for those of you who may be on a time crunch to take the exam and thus want to maximize the rare time that you do have. And the best way to figure out what areas should require this effort is to take a diagnostic test to see your scores for the different sections. Then wherever you came up short, you can work on practice problems for that specific section. Then as you build confidence, you can gradually tackle higher difficulty questions before then taking another practice exam and starting the process over. This is where having a top-notch prep program like Target Test Prep comes in handy so that you have no shortage of practice problems to work on. TTP also provides tons of data analysis to help you find exactly where your weaknesses are. It is a game changer. Number 4, focus on quality over quantity. When studying for the GMAT, it is easy to fall into the trap of telling yourself you need to get X amount of problems done each day, but realistically, it is better to fully comprehend 5 questions than it is to struggle through 20 questions to check them off your to-do list. I recommend spending time analyzing why the answers are correct and why you may have gotten them incorrect. I also logged all of my errors so that I could look back on my mistakes. It's better to focus on what you got wrong than to just do questions you know you can get right just for the sense of accomplishment. Number 5, adopt active study techniques. This requires your brain to think a bit differently and may make you consider steps you wouldn't otherwise. Examples of active learning include teaching the concepts or solving a problem with someone else, rewriting complex problems in your own words, and solving questions out loud to simulate your test-like thinking. And finally, number 6, find an accountability buddy. This is one of the most vital things to do if you want to get your goal score on the GMAT. As discussed earlier, it really is hard to be disciplined and continue studying for the GMAT while working a demanding full-time job. This is why having someone else in your life who is also going through that process can be so helpful. Somebody to check in on your progress or even text you in the morning to confirm that you're working. Studying for the GMAT can be isolating at times, so going through the journey with someone else can keep you locked in and focused on your goals. So with all of that said, that's my advice to my fellow brave soldiers who have decided to undergo their GMAT prep while working full time. Like I said before, it is not easy, but it's not supposed to be. Remember, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Studying for the GMAT is all about working smarter, not harder, and I think the 6 tips from today's video will help you do just that. Also, using a tool like Target Test Prep is incredibly helpful and was a major contributor in my process. If you want to learn more about TTP, you can click the link in the description and use my code Cameron10 to save 10% at checkout. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.